Welcome to back my channel. Old Coins History. Today video is one you won't miss. We're diving into the world of coins. Top 3 5-cent coin. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. So let's get it started. The 2013 Canadian 5-cent coin represents a continuation of one of the most enduring and iconic coin designs in the nation's numismatic history, often colloquially referred to as the nickel. The 5-cent denomination holds a place of particular historical and cultural relevance. In Canada, the 2013 issue builds upon a rich tradition that traces its design lineage back to the post-war era and earlier, while simultaneously incorporating modern minting technology and environmental consciousness through its composition and production. Struck by the Royal Canadian Mint, the 2013 Canadian nickel is emblematic of national symbolism, coinage, evolution, and practical usage within everyday Canadian life. Although small in size and face value, this coin encapsulates a wealth of history, innovation, and identity. To begin with, its specifications. The 2013 Canadian 5-cent coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a thickness of 1.76 millimeters. It weighs 3.95 grams, consistent with its counterparts produced since 2000. The coin is composed of multiply-plated steel, an innovative and cost-effective material that replaced the pure nickel and earlier copper-nickel compositions used in prior decades. This composition includes a steel core plated with layers of nickel and copper. This transition to multiply-plated steel was driven by economic and environmental factors, as the Royal Canadian Mint sought to reduce production costs and lessen the environmental impact associated with mining and processing pure metals. Multiply plating also improves electromagnetic signature consistency, which is particularly important for coin-operated machines and vending systems across the country. On the obverse front side of the 2013 nickel is the effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, a design by Canadian artist Susanna Blunt. Introduced in 2003, this portrait is distinct for its realism and dignity, showing the Queen without a crown, symbolizing her role not just as monarch, but as a contemporary head of state. The portrait faces right, a long-standing numismatic tradition, and is encircled by the inscriptions Elizabeth II and DG Regina, which stands for De Gratia Regina, Latin for By the Grace of God, Queen. Susanna Blunt's portrayal was only the fourth effigy of Queen Elizabeth II to appear on Canadian coinage, following designs by Mary Gillick, 1953, Arnold Mackin, 1965, and Dora de Pettery Hunt, Ijo Jo Ling. Blunt's design marked a new era in Canadian coinage, emphasizing a modern, less formal representation of the monarch and reflecting Canada's maturing identity as a constitutional monarchy with a uniquely Canadian aesthetic. Turning to the reverse side of the coin, the most iconic and recognizable feature is the image of the beaver sitting atop a log. This design has been in use since 1937 and was created by G.E. Kruger Gray, a British artist commissioned by the Mint. The beaver is not only Canada's national animal, but also a symbol of the country's colonial and economic history, representing the fur trade era that was central to the development of Canada as a nation. The beaver on the nickel is flanked by stylized aquatic plants and is placed above the inscription 5 cents. Below the log appears the word Canada, and beneath that, the date 2013. To the right of the beaver is the small mint mark of the Royal Canadian Minta, stylized letter P, denoting the use of plated steel. The simplicity and symmetry of the reverse design, combined with its historical symbolism, have rendered it one of Canada's most beloved and enduring coin motifs. From a production standpoint, the 2013 Canadian 5-cent coin was manufactured at the Royal Canadian Mint's Winnipeg facility, which is responsible for producing all of Canada's circulation coinage. The Mint itself is a marvel of modern manufacturing and quality control, utilizing advanced coin striking technology to ensure uniformity, security features, and cost efficiency. In 2013, the Royal Canadian Mint continued its practice of precision-driven coin production and quality assurance, producing millions of 5-cent coins for circulation. The minting process includes blanking, plating, annealing, upsetting, creating the raised rim, striking with obverse and reverse dies, and finally, quality control and packaging for distribution. In the broader historical context, the 5-cent coin has undergone considerable change over its long history in Canada. The earliest Canadian 5-cent coins. issued in 1858, when Canada was still a British colony, were made of silver and much smaller in size, earning the nickname fish scale. The transition to a larger nickel-based coin occurred in 1922, in response to economic conditions and material scarcity. Since then, the nickel has become a staple in Canadian wallets and coin jars. Despite its low face value, it has seen sustained public usage and remains an integral part of the country's currency system, even as debates occasionally arise about phasing out lower denominations due to inflation and rising production costs. In 2013, public discourse about the future of Canadian coinage was particularly relevant. Just a year earlier, in 2012, the Royal Canadian Mint ceased production of the penny 1-cent coin, citing its inefficiency and costliness, as the 5-cent coin assumed the role of the lowest denomination in circulation. Its future also came under scrutiny, with discussions about whether it too should be retired. Nevertheless, the 2013 nickel continued to be produced in large quantities, reaffirming its usefulness in everyday transactions. Many Canadians continued to view it as an essential denomination, useful for making exact change, aiding small-scale commerce, and playing a key role in price point psychology, i.e. $1.95 versus $2. Another dimension to consider is the coin's role in the collector market. While the standard 2013 5-cent coin is not considered rare or especially valuable due to its high mintage and circulation status, some variations and uncirculated specimens hold appeal for numismatists. Coins from the Royal Canadian Mint's annual collector sets, known as specimen or proof coins, offer higher quality strikes and finishes, such as frosted reliefs and mirror-like backgrounds. These are often sold in sets to collectors and are preserved in mint packaging. Additionally, era coins such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchette defects are of particular interest to collectors, though these are rare. In a broader collecting context, the 5-cent coin often forms part of complete year sets or nickel design type sets, making even common year nickels like the 2013 issue a necessary addition for dedicated numismatists culturally. The 5-cent coin is a minor but persistent presence in Canadian life. Children encounter it first when learning about money. Vending machines, laundromats, and parking meters have all at one time or another depended on the nickel. Its image and terminology have entered Canadian idioms, such as put in your 2 cents, and even pop culture, with references in literature, media, and political cartoons. Despite its small monetary value, it maintains a large symbolic footprint, representing thrift, continuity, and national pride. The image of the beaver continues to resonate as a uniquely Canadian symbol, combining industriousness, natural beauty, and historical depth. The 2013 Canadian 5-cent coin may be small and often overlooked, but its production, symbolism, and role in national identity give it weight far beyond its size. It's a testament to Canada's enduring traditions, evolving minting technologies, and the country's nuanced relationship with its currency. As the nation balances heritage with innovation, the nickel remains a physical reminder of both, whether spent in quiet everyday transactions or kept preserved in collections. The 2013 5-cent coin continues to play its role in the story of Canada quietly, effectively, and with timeless dignity. Next, coin. The 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin, more commonly referred to as the nickel, represents both a continuation of a long-standing numismatic tradition and a tangible piece of national identity shaped by history, economics, symbolism, and practical evolution. Issued by the Royal Canadian Mint, the 2009 nickel maintains the classic and iconic design that has become synonymous with Canada's minor coinage, while also embodying modern innovations in minting technology, cost efficiency, and environmental mindfulness. Though it holds one of the lowest denominations in Canadian currency, the 5-cent coin, especially from years like 2009, serves as an excellent example of how even the smallest coins play substantial roles in both economic systems and cultural consciousness. To explore this coin is to walk through a significant portion of Canadian economic history, scientific achievement in coin production, and enduring symbolic motifs that reflect the national character of Canada itself. Let us begin with the core technical details of the coin, the 2009 Canadian 5-cent. coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a thickness of 1.76 millimeters. It weighs 3.95 grams and features a smooth edge. In terms of composition, the 2009 nickel is made of multiply-plated steel. This represents a deliberate move by the Royal Canadian Mint. Away from earlier compositions that included pure nickel or a nickel-copper alloy, by 2000, the Mint had transitioned to a more cost-effective and environmentally friendly approach using steel cores plated with layers of copper and nickel. The shift to multiply-plated steel was driven by the increasing cost of nickel, a strategic decision to improve electromagnetic consistency for vending and coin-sorting machines, and a commitment to improving efficiency and reducing environmental impact. These materials made the coin not only cheaper to produce, but also lighter and more durable, a testament to Canada's leadership in minting technology and innovation. On the obverse or front side of the 2009 5-cent coin, we see the familiar and dignified portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This image was designed by Canadian artist Susanna Blunt and has been in use since 2003. Unlike previous depictions of the Queen, Blunt's effigy shows her without a crown, offering a more modern and approachable portrayal of the monarch. This subtle artistic shift represents a growing Canadian sentiment toward its sovereign, still reverent but increasingly rooted in a distinct Canadian identity. The Queen faces right, consistent with Commonwealth tradition, and around the portrait are inscribed the words Elizabeth II and DG Regina, short for De Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen. The date 2009 is usually seen below the beaver on the reverse side rather than the obverse, a layout consistent with Canadian circulation coins. Turning to the reverse side, the coin showcases one of Canada's most iconic images, a beaver sitting on a log surrounded by water and framed by stylized flora. This design, created by British artist G.E. Kruger Gray in 1937, remains one of the most enduring motifs in Canadian numismatics. The beaver, recognized as Canada's national animal, symbolizes industriousness, natural beauty, and the fur trade that played a foundational role in the nation's early colonial economy. Above the beaver is the denomination inscription, 5 cents, and below it appears the word Canada, along with the minting year, 2009. To the right of the beaver is the small p mint mark, denoting that the coin was made with plated steel. This simple but elegant design reflects Canada's unique identity and its relationship with the natural world, as well as the enduring importance of this coin in Canadian commerce and daily life. From a minting perspective, the 2009 Canadian nickel was produced at the Royal Canadian Mint's Winnipeg facility, which specializes in the production of circulation coinage. The Winnipeg plant is recognized worldwide for its advanced coinage, technology, and quality control standards. Millions of 5-cent coins were produced in 2009 to meet the needs of circulation across Canada. The minting process involves several key stages, including blank production, plating, annealing, upsetting, which forms the rim, and die striking. During the striking process, massive pressure is used to impress the detailed designs of the obverse and reverse onto the coin's surface. Once struck, the coins go through a series of inspections to ensure consistency in quality and finish. Before being released for distribution, the Royal Canadian Mint prides itself on being one of the most technologically advanced mints in the world, and the 2009 5-cent coin is a product of this advanced craftsmanship. Historically, the 5-cent denomination in Canada has undergone significant changes since its inception. The earliest Canadian 5-cent coins were small silver pieces introduced in 1858 and colloquially known as fish scales due to their tiny size and shiny silver surface. In 1922, due to rising silver costs, the Mint introduced a larger coin made of nickel, and this established the size and composition standard that would persist in various forms for decades. The classic beaver design debuted in 1937, replacing earlier versions that had featured monarchs, shields, and other traditional emblems. During World War II, due to nickel shortages, coins were temporarily struck in tombac and later chrome-plated steel. Over time, as production costs and metal prices changed, so did the coin's composition, culminating in the adoption of multiply-plated steel in the early 21st century. The 2009 nickel reflects this modern phase in the coin's evolutionary history. From a numismatic standpoint, the 2009 5-cent coin is considered a common issue due to its high mintage numbers and regular circulation. However, for collectors, the condition of the coin plays a critical role in its value. Uncirculated coins, proof-like coins, and those in mint-issued sets have a higher appeal among hobbyists and numismatists. In 2009, the Royal Canadian Mint also released collector sets that included the 5-cent coin in superior finishes, such as the specimen set featuring satin-like coins, the proof set with mirror finishes and frosted reliefs, and the brilliant uncirculated set. These versions of the 2009 nickel often feature sharper details, smoother edges, and immaculate surfaces, preserved in special packaging that protects against tarnishing and wear. Some numismatists seek out these coins to build full annual sets or to create type collections representing different eras of Canadian coinage. Additionally, error coins such as those struck off-center or with die cracks are highly valued when found, though they are relatively rare. Economically, the 5-cent coin in 2009 retained its importance in retail transactions and pricing strategies. Though its face value was small, it played a role in preserving psychological pricing, for example, $1.95 instead of $2, and remained essential for vending, parking, and small-scale commerce. In the shadow of the 2008 global financial crisis, Canada, like other nations, focused on cost containment and efficiency across all public sectors, including the mint. The use of plated steel in coins, such as the 2009 nickel, was part of a broader strategy to maintain high standards of public service while reducing operational costs. At the same time, environmental sustainability was increasingly a priority, and the Royal Canadian Mint's material innovations helped reduce the environmental footprint of coin production. Culturally, the 5-cent coin holds a unique place in Canadian identity. Its beaver design is immediately recognizable and serves as a cultural ambassador of sorts, reinforcing the image of Canada as a country rooted in nature, cooperation, and hard work. Children often encounter the 5-cent coin as their first form of currency, making it a teaching tool for financial literacy. The coin has been referenced in Canadian literature, music, and art, and its image is often used to evoke nostalgia for simpler times, though calls for its discontinuation occasionally surface. Similar to the penny's fate, the nickel continues to hold relevance as a functional and symbolic component of Canadian life. In conclusion, the 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin is more than just a small piece of metal used in transactions. It is a reflection of Canadian values, history, and ingenuity. Its iconic beaver design connects modern Canadians to their historical and environmental roots, while its efficient and forward-looking composition demonstrates Canada's innovation in coin manufacturing. As it passed through the hands of millions of Canadians in 2009, buying candy, parking time, or giving change, the nickel quietly fulfilled its role as a medium of exchange and a national symbol, whether saved in piggy banks, collected in albums, or spent in day-to-day commerce. The 2009 5-cent coin stands as a durable, thoughtful representation of Canada in metal form, modest, enduring, and unmistakably Canadian. Next, coin. The 2016 Canadian 5-cent coin, widely referred to as the nickel, is a small yet symbolically and functionally significant part of Canada's numismatic landscape. Despite being one of the lower denominations in the country's monetary system, this coin reflects a remarkable convergence of Canadian heritage, metallurgical innovation, environmental consideration, and cultural identity. Produced by the Royal Canadian Mint, the 2016 5-cent coin continues a long-standing tradition dating back to the 19th century, while also representing the evolution of minting practices into the modern age. Its design remains consistent with iconic Canadian imagery, but its physical composition and production methods reflect a deeper commitment to cost efficiency, sustainability, and cutting-edge technology. To understand the 2016 Canadian nickel is to appreciate how even the smallest, the 2016 Canadian 5-cent coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 1.76 millimeters, and a mass of 3.95 grams. Its edge is smooth rather than reeded, giving it a distinct tactile profile among coins in circulation. The coin is made of multiply plated stela composition that consists of a steel core plated with layers of copper and nickel. This innovative alloy system was introduced by the Royal Canadian Mint in the early 2000s as a cost-saving and environmentally conscious alternative to previous metal compositions, such as pure nickel or copper-nickel blends. The multiply-plated steel approach ensures uniform electromagnetic signature. It also minimizes Canada's reliance on importing expensive raw materials by using locally available steel, thereby making coinage more self-sufficient and economically viable. On the obverse side, the front, the 2016 5-cent coin features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This design was created by Canadian artist Susanna, a conscious artistic choice that presents her in a more human and accessible manner rather than as a distant imperial figure. The portrait captures Her Majesty's mature profile facing right, following traditional numismatic protocol across Commonwealth nations. Surrounding the effigy are the inscriptions Elizabeth II and DG Regina, which is Latin for De Gratia Regina, or by the grace of God, Queen. The portrait is a symbol of continuity and Canada's status as a constitutional monarchy, tying the present to the past while also illustrating a distinctively Canadian visual style. Though subtle in appearance, the blunt design reflects Canada's increasingly independent cultural identity within the Commonwealth. On the reverse side of the coin, we see one of the most iconic and enduring designs in Canadian numismatics. Image of a beaver perched atop a log, surrounded by stylized water and flora. This design was created by G.E. Kruger, Gray, and was first used in 1937. It remains a quintessential symbol of Canadian values, industriousness, resilience, and harmony with nature. The beaver, officially recognized as the national animal of Canada, played a critical role in the country's early economy during the fur trade era. As such, it holds deep historical significance and is a fitting emblem for a coin used by the general public. Above the beaver appears the denomination 5 cents, and below it is the country name Canada, followed by the year of minting, 2016. To the right of the beaver is the mint mark PI, indicating that the coin is made from plated steel. Despite being a small coin, its design remains both elegant and rich in national symbolism. The Royal Canadian Mint, headquartered in Ottawa with a production facility in Winnipeg, is responsible for minting Canada's circulation coinage. Winnipeg plant handles the high-volume striking of coins, such as the 5-cent piece, and the facility is renowned for its world-class quality assurance, environmentally friendly processes, and technological advancements. In 2016, the Royal Canadian Mint continued its practice of high-efficiency production with rigorous quality control protocols. The coin production process involves several stages, including blanking, plating, annealing, upsetting, forming the rim, die striking, and post-production inspection. Each 5-cent coin is struck using hardened dies, one for the obverse and one for the reverse. Under extreme pressure that transfers the detailed designs into the surface of the metal blanc, the finished coins are subjected to optical and mechanical tests to ensure uniformity in dimensions, weight, and electromagnetic properties. In terms of economic context, 2016 was an important year for assessing the future role of physical coinage in Canada. Just a few years earlier, the Canadian penny had been officially retired from circulation in 2012, and was still produced in substantial numbers due to its continued utility in small transactions, vending machines, and pricing structures. Despite inflation reducing its purchasing power over time, the nickel maintained a necessary presence. In daily commerce and retail, especially in cash transactions, the multiply-plated steel version allowed for significant cost savings per unit, making the coin economically justifiable despite its low denomination. From a numismatic point of view, the 2016 Canadian 5-cent coin is considered a common date issue, meaning it was produced in large quantities and readily circulated. As such, most examples found in pocket change are of low collector value unless they are in pristine condition. However, high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those found in mint-issued collector sets, are of more interest to hobbyists. The Royal Canadian Mint annually releases proof, specimen, and brilliant uncirculated coin sets that include the 5-cent piece struck with higher detail and finish. These coins may feature mirror-like fields, frosted reliefs, or satin textures, and are packaged in protective cases to prevent tarnishing. In addition, collectors remain vigilant for error. Coins such as off-center strikes, die clashes, or misalignment, which can fetch significant premiums, depending on rarity and condition. The cultural and educational significance of the 5-cent coin cannot be overstated. It is often the first coin Canadian children handle when learning to count money or use piggy banks. Economics and metallurgy is so iconic that it features in Canadian souvenirs, educational materials, and even some popular media representations of Canadian life. The phrase "not worth a plugged nickel," a saying from North American vernacular, continues to echo in the collective consciousness, reminding people of the coin's role in daily expressions and cultural idioms. Although increasingly marginalized, in a world of digital transactions, the physical coin still holds emotional and functional importance. In 2016, the 5-cent coin continued to function as a practical tool for making exact change in cash-based transactions. Additionally, coin-operated systems, although gradually transitioning to card and app-based mechanisms, still widely accepted nickels. Its small value, while less consequential in high-value purchases, played a critical role in cash transactions at the margin, especially in rural or underserved areas where digital infrastructure may be limited. Historically, the 5-cent coin has undergone a long transformation. From its origins as a small silver piece in 1858 to the modern plated steel version in 2016, its design and composition have changed to reflect Canada's shifting economy, technological capabilities, and national identity. The beaver reverse has remained essentially untouched since 1937, marking it as one of the longest-running coin designs in Canadian history. This continuity speaks to the enduring nature of Canadian values: hard work, respect for nature, and a quiet yet steady national pride. In summary, the 2016 Canadian 5-cent coin represents far more than its nominal value. It is a continuation of a proud tradition that spans over a century, encapsulating in metal the rich tapestry of Canadian history. Wildlife symbolism, royal heritage, and industrial advancement. While small in the hand and light in the pocket, it carries the weight of national identity and the story of a country that bridges the past and the present. Or passed from hand to hand across generations, the 2016 nickel serves as a modest but meaningful emblem of Canada's enduring spirit and its commitment to balancing heritage with modernity.